A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark, chapter 10, verses 2 to 12. The passage is taken from the Message version of the Bible. A Pharisee came up intending to give him a hard time. They asked, "Is it legal for a man to divorce his wife?" Jesus said, "What did Moses command?" They answered, "Moses gave permission to fill out a certificate of dismissal and divorce her." Jesus said, "Moses wrote this command only as a concession to your hard-hearted ways. In the original creation, God made male and female to be together. Because of this, a man leaves father and mother, and in marriage, he becomes one flesh with a woman, no longer two individuals, but forming a new unity. Because God created this organic union of the two sexes, no one should desecrate his art by cutting them apart." When they were back home, the disciples brought it up again. Jesus gave it to them straight. A man who divorces his wife so he can marry someone else commits adultery against her. And a woman who divorces her husband so she can marry someone else commits adultery. The Gospel of the Lord.
Good morning. I am Father Joseph Matthew, and this is Coffee with God. Let us now listen to a short reflection on the Holy Gospel according to St. Mark, chapter 10, verses 2 to 16. Divorce is the absence of the presence. As a test, someone asks Jesus, "Can a man divorce his wife?" Jesus could respond to this age-old Hebrew inquiry, "No, unless she violated the marriage agreement by being unfaithful," or "Yes, certainly, if she fails to fulfill her duties as a wife and homemaker to your satisfaction, you have the option to divorce her." Kind of like being fired from job. We discover that Jesus doesn't answer yes or no questions. Jesus sees marriage as a small step toward God's bigger concern, to draw all things together in grace. What God does in marriage is just a tiny sample of what Jesus does for all creation on the cross, to be broken to give life. God does not simply walk past the poor and the weak, He cares for them. Jesus takes the time to stop and show concern for the woman and her children who are being forced out of their homes. He worries that they will face social stigma and struggle to make a living. This issue is not confined to the past. Even in the present day, divorce remains one of the main contributors to poverty among women and children. Jesus demonstrates care and compassion for those who are vulnerable and suffering. Jesus, is it wrong to divorce? This is the wrong question. The gospel is very categorical in its message. Let no one separate what God has joined. This helps us to believe in the holiness and importance of marriage that God put together. Also, to believe in the unconditional care and healing of the weak, including those who have been broken by divorce. The Church has a word of grace to preach on this painful topic of divorce. Maybe there are a lot of broken people from broken relationships who need to hear the consoling voice of a loving God and a loving community.